Jesus Christ, you guys, we're VTubing because we have a live twins deck today. So we're an anime girl right now. Bringing you this deck. This is kind of a preliminary run. I'm probably going to be making some changes to it, more or less, but this is what I was running at the last couple tournaments. I was going about 50-50, and I think it's more of my bad plays than the deck itself, but this is why we post profiles. We want to get some input. So, main deck, extra deck, side deck. Put those two over here, and we will go ahead and begin. So the first thing we have is, of course, if we're running the twins, we're running a typical lineup, right? Nya. Desu Kawaii. We are doing 3 of the live twins Kiss Kill and 3 of the live twins Lilla. Dude, did she just like blink one eye at a time? Wait. Oh, that's funny. Anyway, 3 Kiss Kills, 3 Lillas, and then one of their alternates. The alternate Lilla Treat sucks, honestly. It's just a combo extender. The alternate for Kiss Kill Frost, it actually does have a little bit of use, because if they add a card from their deck while you have an evil twin on the board, and this is in your graveyard, we can banish it and draw a card. Aside from that, I think we all know what these do by now. If you don't control any monsters and you summon Kiss Kill, boom, bring out one of these 2 monsters. It can be either Lilla Basic or Lilla Treat, and then obviously vice versa for Lilla. So if you summon Lilla and you control no monsters, you can summon either Kiss Kill or Kiss Kill Frost. Pretty easy. It's one hand. It's these cards are 1-card combos, and that's really all I have to say about that. You only run one of the alternate forms because you don't want a brick. Next up we have, bam, 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 Parallel Exceeds. I'm going to move this over here, actually. Parallel Exceeds. You are running a lot of Link monsters, so these just kind of go with them like peanut butter and jelly. So you summon up one of the evil twins, you activate this in hand, summon it out, activate the effect from the field, summon out another one. They're both level 4 at this point, so you get to get a rank 4 fiend, notably Baguska. I also run Abyss Dweller, but we will get into that later. It can either give you an Exceeds play, or it can give you just more materials if you're doing something else, because by the time you use this effect, you don't necessarily have had to have used the evil twin effect to summon a twin from the graveyard and thus lock you into fiends. But the Parallel Exceeds, they just run great with Link focus decks, so that's why we run it. Next up, we are getting to our plethora of hand traps. I'm actually just going to put all of them out there. Boop, boop, and boop. Run 3 Effect Failures, 3 Ash Blossoms, 3 Infinite Impermanence, and 3 Ghost Spells. Ghost Spell I like just because of Drytrons, and Jesus Christ, she like blinks one eye at a time. I swear I'm not doing that on purpose. But every time I look up, it's going like a beep, beep. That's so funny. Anyway. Just got this like huge Chongus hands and this like little dainty ass Animu wife. Anyway, Effect Veiler. I really like Effect Veiler and Infinite Impermanence because they can dodge chain blocks. I really like Ash Blossom because it's the most generic hand trap in the game. And lately I've been liking Ghost Spell just because it can stop you. It can stop a Salamander play. It can stop a Sky Striker play. It can stop. Well, I don't think it really stops Drytrons all that much. But Salamangreats and Sky Strikers, it hits Tri Brigades, but they kind of don't mind it as much. Anyway, if anything, I'll probably drop this down to 2 and add more cards in. But let me go ahead and move these out of the way. Go ahead and do our other traps right now. We have 2 Evil Twin Presents. These are basically creature swap. So when you have both of the twins on the board, and it can be a combination of evil or live, doesn't really matter. So you have them on the board, and then you say, alright, I'm going to flip Evil Twin Present. I'm going to give you, say, I'm going to give you, say, Lilla, and I'm going to take whatever monster you have that is hopefully a playmaker. And if I have Evil Twin Kiss Kill on the board and I have a Lilla in the graveyard, well, I can then follow up with Kiss Kill to summon Lilla, and then Lilla to pop a card, or vice versa to draw a card. Doesn't really matter however you want to play it. Whatever is useful for the situation. Evil Twin present. Alright, Upstart Goblin is our first spell card, simply because I want to make a 39 card deck rather than a 40 card deck. Upstart is a free draw. Enough said. I guess not technically free. You do give your opponent 1,000 life points, but it's modern Yu-Gi-Oh! No one cares about life points. I've run 2 Cosmic Cyclones. Hits important cards. You'll hit Meteona Strytron, or is it Meteona Strytron? The ritual spell card, I think it's called Meteona Strytron. Pretty sure it's called Meteona Strytron. I don't know why I'm forgetting right now. You'll hit that, you'll hit Engage, you'll hit certain Salamander traps that they use to negate you with. Other important spells you can hit. And it's really just in there to banish it, not necessarily to stop it. And if they side in Anti-Spell Fragrance, or they happen to main deck it, or any of those other Floodgate traps, well, you have something in your deck that can take care of it in the main deck. Next up, I run 3 Pot of Avarice. You are dropping cards into the graveyard like nobody's business. This will get 5 of them back. It's monster specific though, but extra deck or main deck monsters. This will get 5 of them back and let you draw 2 cards. More often than not, I'm doing this entirely with extra deck monsters, so it basically becomes free recovery and Pot of Greed. Moving on. That's my child yelling out there. So, we're getting into the new stuff. Now, Secret Password is not a new card. However, it lets you get access to the new card. Secret Password, what it does is it searches out any live twin, evil twin, spell, or trap. Now, we are going to follow that up with Sunny Snitch. That's Channel, not Sunny Snitch. We'll get into that later. We're going to follow that up with Sunny Snitch. You use this to search out this. Simple as that. Because Sunny Snitch should have been in the game from Genesis Impact. I don't know why it took that long to come out, and it's pretty much the sole reason why the twins have a fighting chance nowadays without adding Eldritch or Unchained. This is a pure live twin deck as far as you've seen, and thanks to Sunny Switch alone, you have boosted the consistency so high. Essentially, if you have... You only need 1 card to start your combo, so if you have either of the twins in your hand, of the non-alternate version twins, I should say, so there's 6 cards right there that you need, or that you can draw into. These can get you to this, so that's kind of another 6 cards. So you have essentially 12 cards to start a 1-card combo within your deck, so that's why twins are so good. And I'm telling you, they just need like 1 more broken card, and they'll be top tier. Alright, and then finally, I'm running 2 Live Twin Home. I don't really like this card, and 1 Live Twin Channel. I'm okay with this card. Live Twin Channel is really just there for a little bit of extra recovery, but you can do without it. Like, it's usually the first thing I side out. And then Live Twin Home, it's kind of my panic button. If things have just gone wrong, I can always just slap down Live Twin Home and at least get the Evil Twin part of my combo down. I may not get the access code talker if it's turn 2. I may not get some other things, but I can at least get my Evil Twin Lilla, Evil Twin Kiss Kill, get a free draw, get a free pop. So, there we go with that. Moving on. We are going into the extra deck at this point, and of course we are going to run 3 Evil Twin Kiss Kills and 3 Evil Twin Lillas. It's like I've said several times before, this one draws, this one pops, and both of them will lock you into extra deck Fiends only, but we run plenty of Fiends, so it's not too terrible of a deal. You don't leave home without them if you're running the Evil Twin, Live Twin deck, because you kind of need all 6 of them. I've seen some people run 2 and 2, but I'm not feeling that. Moving on. And we go to Salamander El Mirage. Salamander El Mirage is just a kinda, sorta, little bit of a recovery, not entirely. If you have Parallel Exceed in hand and they say Ash Blossom, Effect Veiler, Impermanence, stop your normal summon activated effect, then you can just turn that live twin into an El Mirage, activate Parallel Exceed in hand, still get the 2 level 4s out, and then you can make them into a Baguska or whatever you decide to make them into. So that's really the only purpose El Mirage has. Now, you can do this with either El Mirage or Lingaribo. However, I would recommend El Mirage because this thing has 0 attack, so if they try to crash into it with, say, if you want to run Nightmare Crypt or Ibly, it won't work. And also, this thing can quick effect drop itself to protect whatever rank 4 you decide to make the Parallel Exceeds into. Next up, we have Underworld Goddess of the Closed World. This is an not very often used boss monster, but you do flood the field plenty enough to use it. So essentially what it does is it is a free removal. So let's say you've baited out the Dragoon Negate, I think is going to be my easy go-to example. So you've baited out Dragoon's Negate, and then you're able to get a Evil Twin on the board with 2 Parallel Exceeds. Well, it requires 4+ monsters, so long as you can make that link rating equal 5. So Kiss Kill Lilla is a link 2 monster. You have the 2 Parallel Exceeds on the board. They're both effect monsters. Dragoon is an effect monster. You link them all the way. For this, you've just gotten rid of a big obstacle, and you've got yourself 3000 beater on the board. Next up, we are running 2 Unchained Abominations. This is like my secondary, maybe this would be the primary boss monster. It runs really, really well with the twins because you have Lilla pop something, which will trigger Abomination's effect to then pop another thing, and then on the end phase you'll pop something. So, and if you destroy anything by battle, you pop anything, and if, not even if he destroys anything by battle, if anything gets destroyed by battle, again, you get to pop another card. So he steamrolls the game, he snowballs the game for you by just continuously applying pressure and destroying your opponent's cards. And he is a Fiend, Link 4, so you can just summon him off of Evil Twins, Kiss Kill, and Lilla once you have them both on the board. Alright, next up, this is a combination I'm probably going to end up taking out. So it is the Sky Strikers access code package, kind of, if you want to think of it like that. So you run a lot of tuners in this deck. You run 9 of them. So if you have any monster plus one of those 9 tuners, you link them into Crystal and Halqifibrax. Halqifibrax will then go and dig out Effect Veiler, summon it onto the board. You will then get rid of those 2 for Selene, which is a Link 3, so Link 2 plus Effect Veiler. Boom, you go into that. Selene will then, you're overwhelmingly likely going to have plenty of spells in the graveyard to use it. So Selene will then bring Effect Veiler back out, and then you will take Selene and Effect Veiler and turn them into Access Code Talker, a Link 4. You're going to use Access Code Talker's effect on Selene to get 3000 extra attack. You banish 1, 2, and then maybe a Dark if you got it in your banish pile as well. Or in your graveyard to banish as well. And you don't get the double attack like you used to when you did Update Jammer, but I kind of don't feel like that whole combination is necessary. So we just kind of move on from that. And also, if you have stopped them from making a lot of plays on their turn 1, so on your turn 2, you can just turn the 2 Evil Twins into Access Code Talker and call it a day. Next up, we have our 2 rank 4s, which is going to be Abyss Dweller and Baguska. So the only thing about Abyss Dweller, because he's not a Fiend, if you are going to summon him at all with the 2 Parallel Exceeds, you have to do it before you use the Evil Twin effect to res something from the graveyard, otherwise you'll be locked out of summoning him because he is a Sea Serpent. Baguska does not have that limitation. So the way I look at it is, Baguska stuns the board, stuns the field, and Abyss Dweller stuns the graveyard. So that's why they're both in there. Alright, so that is the extra deck. Moving on to the side deck. I just threw that right there because I needed something to separate it. We are going to start with 3 DD Crows. I really, really like DD Crow. I'm probably going to end up main decking it somewhere when I do further revisions of the deck. Yeah, it's DD Crow. Just get rid of something from the graveyard. So many things use the graveyard as a second hand nowadays. You just hit it like that. Next up we have our Kaijus, which is Godarla and Gamma Seal. Now, usually what ends up happening is I'll get rid of some hand traps for some Kaijus. Ideally, in a perfect world, the way this is going to run is if, let's say, I win the coin toss and win game 1. and I'm pretty sure that they have some sort of crazy BS combo ready for me. I then get rid of 6 of my hand traps, bring in 6 of my kaijus, and then I play through your Herald of Ultimateness or Dragoon or something you would use that you can play through 1 or 2 hand traps to get to, if that makes any sense. So moving that over there. And then up we have 2 Twin Twisters and a Harpy's Feather Duster. This is just back row removal, simple enough, nothing really to talk about there. Use that for back row heavy decks. Yeah. And then finally we have Shared Ride, and this is just you slide that in there against combo decks. If you know it's a combo deck, like say Salamangreats or something like that, just shotgun it as soon as the standby phase hits, so that whenever they start summoning their stuff, you just keep drawing cards. Or whenever they start adding, I should say, you start drawing cards as along with them. There is one thing I'll make note of, and this may have been a guy rule sharking me, maybe pulling a fast one on me. So the situation that happened was he was doing Salamangreats, and I had Shared Ride down. I waited for him to use, I think it was Salamangrate Circle. I forget exactly what the card was, and I activated this in response. And the judge ruled that I will not get the draw. I will get everything after the chain resolves. So I'm going to keep playing it based on that notion until I get corrected otherwise, or until I get told otherwise, I should say, not corrected. So just remember to just shotgun it at your standby phase if you know they're going to be adding a lot of cards from their deck to their hand. But that's all I got for you today. Like I said, side deck, extra deck, main deck. Try to make this a quick video because my daughter is having just a good old hootenanny out there. And I cannot wait to see how this freaking little VTuber thing comes out, because I would take a look up and I noticed one eye closing and then the other eye closing. It looked like a freaking creepy doll thing. But in the meantime, y'all have a great day. Treat each other like you got some sense.